hood. It's like, no. Good Monday evening, Four Wide Media listeners. This is Joker's Wild / Down Under. We had an incredible week of racing action. We have the 12 hours of Sebring. We had Formula One. We had NASCAR. We had high limit racing. Speaking of high limit racing, this Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. we launch Four Wide Media Dirt Racing Edition. Everett, welcome, buddy. What is up? How's your Monday going?
My Monday's going good. I mean, I had to work, had doctor's appointments, and I'm doing a live video tonight. So, I mean, can't get any better than that.
No, sir. So we had the 12 hours of Sebring, and like I had predicted on Friday or Thursday, Team Penske ends their 17-year winless streak in Sebring by winning Sebring 12 hours overall. Talk about incredible.
I mean, it's pretty much what you expect when it comes to sports car racing anymore. Penske's got their hand in everything, and they're dominant in everything that they touch.
Yep, that is true. I don't know what's going on with our video screen. I truthfully don't care. You know, this is technology. This is live. Shit's going to go south at some point.
Always, man, always.
Was the Australian Grand Prix the perfect F1 season opener? It always is. Let's start with some news first. The supercars were racing in Melbourne over the weekend, and heavy downpours for race number 2 shortened the second race. Did you catch any of the supercar V8 action highlights over the weekend?
I did not. I didn't even know they were running this weekend.
So
don't follow it all that much.
okay, let's see. Let's take out supercars. Let's see how their standings are. They are through 6 races already. Well, 7 races already. So far, let's take a look at their the 2025 Repco supercars. Let's see what we got going on. Let's take a look at the standings. I know Will Brown won race number 1 on Saturday. Let's take a look at your race results. All right. So we are well through the season. We are 7 races in 6 or 7 races into the season. Of course, you know, everything started with the Sydney 500, but we are currently on the super sprint. Will Brown won race 1, and race 2 was won by.
Actually, it was Brock Feeney won race 1, Cameron Hill race 2, and then Will Brown was race 3 in the Melbourne super sprints this weekend. There's 4 total super sprints, and it looks like possibly the 4th one was canceled because of the weather.
Oh, damn. But damn, you beat me to the punch on that one. Shit. Well, let's see. You know what? I do believe so. Let me double check on here. I do think, you know what? I think you might be right. But I've been following it here. I can't watch it. It's hard to watch. I don't know where they show it.
I don't know either anymore. It always used to be on Speed Channel, but we don't get Speed Channel anymore. They done away with it.
I wish they would bring it back. God, I miss it. All right, so here are your current point standings, your current top 10 standings. Will Brown, Cam Waters, Brock Feeney, Chaz Mostert, Brody Katsaki, Matthew Payne, Anton D. Pasquill, Cameron Hill, Thomas Randall, and Nick Percat round out your top 10 for supercars. It's still got a long way to go. All I know is that once the Bathurst comes around, that is my favorite race to watch, and I believe you can watch it on. I believe you can watch it on what's that channel? Not Mav TV.
Ooh.
Moto Trend.
Yeah, Motor Trend, I think, has it.
do believe.
Looking at some notes here, race 4 was suspended due to
see.
torrential rain and could not be restarted. As less
Sounds
than
about
50%
right.
of the race
But,
distance had been completed when the race was abandoned, no points were awarded.
That explains it. All right, so it's very hard to look up the Okay, let's see what I can do. We got all the time in the world, my friend. So we're not going to cover any Supercross or anything like that until Wednesday when we start our dirt racing edition. I feel like this. We have our stock cars and our other motor asphalt on Mondays. Wednesdays we have dirt because there's always stuff going on in the dirt world,
Oh yeah, always. I mean, they race pretty much 6 days a week when it comes down to it.
So the Bathurst 1000 is coming up soon. That is the 10th round and the 27th race of the season. By far one of my favorite races to watch. Let's see. TV for Bathurst. What's crazy? I've raced that Bathurst track in Project Cars 2. That track is one tough SOB.
Oh, Bathurst is something else, that's for sure. I mean, I've raced it on numerous games, and it's like, man, love the track though. It's definitely something. Doing some searching. Motor Trend was the official TV partner in the U.S. for Supercars, but it's unclear if they still have the rights to it.
It's now YouTube TV. I'll take it. I have YouTube TV. Yes. Coolio. All right. Someone sent you a message. You can fuck off. Let's see. Let's do the IMSA results. IMSA. 12 hours of Sebring. Sebring, I would love to see NASCAR go to Sebring because that's one of my favorite road courses.
That could be an interesting street course for them. That's for sure. I mean,
you got to respect them bumps.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So your results from Team Penske, Nick Tandy. 354 laps were completed in a total of 12 hours. Your full race results. I don't want to print nothing because I'm doing this on my phone. From Team Penske, who took 1 and 2, Nick Tandy, Lawrence Vanthoor, Felipe Nasser took the overall podium. Second place was Matthew Jimmett, Matt Cambo, and Kevin Estrie from Penske. In third, taken third from Acura Meyer Shank Racing from right here in Columbus, Ohio. My boys, Nick Yellowley, Ranger Van der Zade, and Alex Pillow round out your top 3. So that's not bad for Penske. Here are your 1 and 2 podiums for your LMP2 class. Enter Europol competition. Jeremy Clark, Bijoy Garge, and Tom Dillman won your LMP2 class. In second place from Tower Motorsports with Sebastian Alvarez, John Farano, and Sebastian Bourdais. In your third for your total class finishing was TDS Racing or Orica LMP2. Hunter McElra and Mikko Jensen. And finally, for the GT Pro, AO Racing in the Porsche 911 GT3 R992. Lauren Hinreich, Klaus Blatcher, Alessio Picarello. And second from Paul Miller Racing was Jesse Krohn, Max Hintz, Dan Harper. Your third podium for Paul Miller Racing. So Paul Miller Racing took second and third in the GTD Pro class. Madison Snow, Neil Verhagen, Connor DeFilippi rounds out your third. And finally for your GTD class, Winward Racing, Mercedes AMG TT3, Indy Dante, Russell Ward, Felipe Ellis. Your second place was Vasser Sullivan Racing in the Lexus RCF GT3. Frankie Montecalvo, Parker Thompson, Jack Hacksworth. Finally, in your third podium, Heart of Racing, Aston Martin Vantage GT3 Evo, Tom Gamble, Zachary Rubicant, and Casper Stevenson. Overall, there was a total of 56 cars for the total 12 hours. Out of the 56 cars, only 44 were left running after 12 hours.
In competitive race
And we
overall.
lost.
No, I'm still here.
Yeah.
Can you hear me still?
Oh, my 3-year-old's
You
awake.
good?
So their next race will be Slowpoke.
Next race
Alright,
is
so
the
their
Acura
next
Grand Prix of
race-
Long Beach.
Yep. April 11th and 12th. I believe they are aligning with the IndyCar series.
Yep, IndyCar should be there that weekend also.
I do believe so. I believe they're there on the 13th. Then we have WeatherTech Raceway Laguna Seca. Could you imagine the Cup cars racing the corkscrew at Laguna Seca? Man, would that be entertaining.
It would be entertaining, but I don't think those cars could take the beating that track would offer.
That's very true. I would definitely agree with you on that. All right, so I need to step away for a hot second. To see what my child needs, but I will be right back. Go ahead.
Not completely sure what he said on his way out, but we'll move over to the NASCAR Truck Series. Friday night under the lights at Las Vegas, saw Corey Heim get his second win of the season. Made the final pass with a few laps to go there. Pacing the field for 42 of the 134 laps on the night, which the race saw 2 rain delays for the first time, which is rare out in Las Vegas. Grant Enfinger was second, followed by Tanner Gray, Ty Majeski, Lane Riggs, Stuart Friesen, Raja Caruth, Chandler Smith, Matt Crafton, and Tyler Ankrum, rounding out the top 10. Get the rest of the results here for you guys. I should have been more prepared for this one, I tell you. And continuing on the results, 11th was Justin Haley, 12th, Caden Honeycutt, 13th, Daniel Hemrick, 14th, Ben Rhodes, 15th, Giovanni Ruggiero, 16th, Matt Mills, 17th, Andres Perez de Laura, 18th, Bailey Curry, 19th, Dawson Sutton, and 20th was Connor Mozak. 21st, Tony Breidinger, 22nd, William Swalich, 23rd, Luke Fenhouse, 24th, Frankie Muniz, 25th, Spencer Boyd, 26th, Jake Garcia, finishing 27th, pole sitter, Corey Day, 28th, Josh Riome, 29th, Nathan Bird, 30th, Jack Wood, and rounding out the field in 31st was Stephen Malozzi, who had drivetrain issues on lap 17. Fastest lap
So
of the
I'm
night
going to
was on
pretend
lap
like
7 from Ty Majeski.
so I'm going to pretend that we didn't just skip over Formula One.
Oh, we can come back to Formula One after NASCAR. We'll make that the showcase of the night, since it is down under. So
That sounds fantastic. Go ahead and continue with the NASCAR results.
man, well, moving over to the Xfinity side of the weekend, Justin Allgaier hit the jackpot, got lucky, winning his first race of the season in the Jarrett Logistics Chevrolet, followed by Eric Almirola in second. Third was Jesse Love. Fourth, Austin Hill. Fifth, Sam Mayer. Sixth, Brendan Jones. Seventh, Ryan Sieg. Eighth, Harrison Burton. Harrison Burton got a top 10 for AM Racing. Pretty good show there. It's good seeing that team get some results right now, considering how the last couple of years have been for them. Ninth, Connor Zilich. 10th, Sheldon Creed. Coming home 11th, I think this might be his best career finish, in Kyle Sieg. 12th, Daniel Dye. 13, Christian Eckes. 14th, Sammy Smith, who was the pole sitter on the day. 15th, Dean Thompson, 16th, Matt Benedetto. 17th, Carson Quaffle. 18th, Anthony Alfredo. 19th, Taylor Gray. 20th, Nick Sanchez. Coming home 21st was Parker Retzloff. 22nd, Brennan Poole. 23rd, Jeb Burton. 24th, Jeremy Clemens. 25th, Chris Wright. 26th, Blaine Perkins. 27th, Garrett Smithley. 28th, Patrick Emmerling. 29th, Josh Williams, who stepped out of the car just after the end of stage one. Ty Dillon took over that car because Josh was feeling sick again. Rounding out the top 30, Leland Honeyman.
Thinking, what was up with that?
What's up?
I was thinking, what was going on with the whole Josh? Any updates?
I have not seen any updates yet on Josh Williams. I've been trying to keep an eye out, but haven't seen anything new posted yet.
Okay.
And then going 31st to 38th, you had Josh Balicki in 31st. Dawson Cram, who repaired the car from Phoenix, the Phoenix crash, and had sponsorship from Realty.com on their Chevrolet this weekend. Was 32nd. 33rd, Joey Gase. 34th, Ryan Ellis. 35th, Greg Van Alst. 36th, Austin Green. 37th, Mason Massey. And rounding out the 38 car field was William Swalich, who didn't even get to complete a lap. Fastest lap of the race was on lap 100, and that bonus point ended up going to Connor Zilich in the 88 car. So that is the Xfinity Series. Jordan, why don't you go ahead and take the Cup Series so I can get a drink and catch my breath. Why don't you go ahead and take over the Cup Series results so I get a chance to take a drink and catch my breath?
I will do that. But first, let's go back to the truck and Xfinity. I seen no truck race. No. Your driver of the race for the truck series was Corey Heim. Your driver of the race for the Xfinity series was... Who the fuck did I say it was? Give me a minute. Give me a minute. Give me a minute. Ooh, ooh, ooh. But yes, I will take care of the Cup Series.
As for Josh Williams, doctors have told him there is fluid on his or in his lungs as part of the illness that's been going on since CODA, and he's been on medication and doing everything he's supposed to do, but it's still affecting him. They told him it could take a while for it to all clear up, but he plans on being in the car at Homestead.
Was your driver of the race for the NASCAR Xfinity? My phone is being deathly slow. I'm about to punch it. You some of my bitch. All right. A historic moment for a legendary team. Legendary number. Iconic colors. The red, white, blue, and gold. 21. Josh Berry with the Wood Brothers Racing Motorcraft Ford machine takes his first ever Cup Series victory, giving the legendary Wood Brothers in their 75th season. Their Everett, thoughts on Josh Berry's very first Cup Series win?
So well deserved. I mean, can't call him a kid because he's older than most, but he's worked his ass off to get where he is. He wasn't given everything based off of money. He had to earn everything that he's gotten. Over at Dale Jr., Junior gave him the ride, but he still had to earn that sponsorship. He still had to get that sponsorship on that car and prove himself. And he did that for a couple of years over there, which got him into the spotlight for Stuart Haas to have him take over for Kevin Harvick, and which gave him this opportunity to go to Wood Brothers. I mean, you can't beat the story that he's had. I mean, what was it? Just 6 years ago, he was running a late model at Hickory Motor Speedway, and here he is winning the Cup Series. I mean,
right?
That was a great win. I wish I would have put money on him to win at Las Vegas, because if I would have put $10 on it, that would have been a cool $1,000 winning.
And you know, Josh Berry played his card. Josh Berry played his card tried. He went double or nothing and put it all in. Put it all on the table and wins the race. Did I expect to see him win? Absolutely not. I did not expect Josh Berry to win that race. I was thinking it was going to be another Joe Gibbs show or Hendrick show.
Well, what about that fancy pit work by Joe Gibbs Racing with Christopher Bell?
That was smart.
Listening to an interview from Adam Stevens, he said that is something that the Joe Gibbs teams have discussed happening in the past, just as a precaution, and they've discussed it to NASCAR as well. And NASCAR just said that all they would get if it's not their pit box would be pitting outside their pit box penalty, which is the end of the longest line.
Mhm.
So
Right.
kudos to Adam Stevens and the Joe Gibbs team for thinking outside the box, really, on something like that. I mean, that's a move that creates champions right there, being prepared for anything to happen.
Exactly. And that's how Christopher Bell was able to win the last three. Well, I would say technically the last two races. The one, we're not even going to go there. That's been passed. But here are your results for the rest of your results for the Pennzoil 400 presented by Jiffy Lube. Daniel Suarez in second, Ryan Priest in third. What a finish by Ryan Priest. Third. Not bad.
Good run by
Willie B. William Byron in fourth. Melon Man Ross Chastain is in fifth. My boy Austin Cindric got sixth. I'll take it. Alex Bowman seventh. AJ Allmendinger, what was his, I want to say, 450th start in the Cup Series? Eighth. Kyle Larson ninth. Chase Elliott 10th. Brad Keselowski 11th. Christopher Bell, who we were just talking about, finished in 12th. Chris Buescher 13th. Justin Haley 14th. Joey Logano 15th. Michael McDowell 16th. Michael McDowell was also your pole sitter. Chase Briscoe 17th. I won't be surprised if there is a penalty laid out this week. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. 18th. Radley Hurst 19th. That orange 35 Cindy Duke car was looking sharp.
It was. I agree. 2311 is definitely bringing the heat on paint schemes this year.
Yeah, they are. In 20th, Backstreet's back. All right. John Hunter Nemechek finished 20th in that sweet Backstreet Boys looking ride.
I want
Ty Dillon finished
that away.
Bad. We're getting off topic.
Hey, we're just promoting his sponsor.
That's true. That. True
Although
that.
neither of us
Ty
are going to American Idol anytime soon, but
oh God, no. Ty Gibbs 22nd. Ty Gibbs, I gotta say, Ty Gibbs is one of the worst drivers out there. Moving on. Zane Smith 23rd. Tyler Reddick was having such a strong race until a late race incident caused him to have a 24th place finish. Denny Hamlin 25th. Cole Custer 26th. Eric Jones 27th. Bubba Wallace 28th. Todd Gilliland 29th. Carson Hocevar 30th. Noah Gragson 4th. Austin Dillon, Kyle Busch, Shane Van Gisbergen, Ryan Blaney, and Cody Ware in the rear. 36th. Rounds out your 36 car field.
calling Ty Gibbs the worst driver right now, I think a lot of it is this is his sophomore year. So, I mean, it's starting to show a sophomore slump. And not to mention, I believe they changed his crew chief this year too. So, I mean, that's a completely new learning curve in his regard. Let's see. They put Tyler Allen as crew chief, and then they moved Chris Gale over to the 11 team. I mean, that's tough right there. I mean, Chris Gale and him had a pretty good show going on last year, and then you get this, and I mean, this isn't the Ty Gibbs we've seen last year. That's for sure. I mean, the Ty Gibbs we had last year was in competition for wins on every week. I mean, up front, taking poles. He was showing his true talent, but this year they changed that over, and it's like, ooh, was that a smart move for them? I get that they're trying to build Hamlin back up over there, but then it just becomes a little rough when you go from having something established and an established notebook like he had with Chris Gale to completely nothing.
Mhm. That's very true. Let's take a look at the timeline of the Cup Series race. I am so beyond happy for Josh Berry. I'm telling you, he earned it big time.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm ecstatic for his win. That was a long time coming. I mean, he showed good strides when he was over at Stuart Haas. Granted, he didn't. Stuart Haas was on their last leg over there, so they didn't have the equipment to really compete at the Cup level. When he ran the couple races and for Hendrick for Chase Elliott, I mean that was another one of those that he showed some decent runs, but it just was one of those things that he didn't perform as much as you expected him to do. So I mean, for the fact that each of the runs that they've had so far this year, he's been pretty darn good. That's a good sign of things to come. To me, it looks like overall right now that the Wood Brothers team, aka Penske, and that 21 car is running on all cylinders. Even though Joey Logano's ahead in points right now, I think overall right now, pace wise and decision wise, Josh Berry and that 21 team is showing what Penske's made of right now, showing what Ford can do. So yeah, it'll be interesting throughout the season, and then once they get into the playoffs on what he can do and how far in he can move to the playoffs. Because I want to say Vegas is one of the first races into the playoffs, and if that's the case, I mean we could see a repeat. Nope. Vegas is in the round of 8, so it's further in. But I mean, you go to Darlington, you got Worldwide Technology Raceway, and you got Bristol.
So
I mean,
so what's
he'll have a
crazy
good
is
shot.
last 5 wins for Woods Brothers Racing. So I don't know if you know this, but the last 5 Woods Brothers Racing drivers, that's the last 5 wins from Woods Brothers, has all been first-time winners. Elliott
and
Sadler.
The last 4 have ended with their last name started with the letter B.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Pretty
Elliott
cool.
Sadler, Trevor Blaine, Ryan Blaney, Harrison Burton, and now Josh Berry.
Yep.
Trevor Bain's win in the 2011 Daytona 500 is by far my favorite win for Woods Brothers Racing.
That is one of the craziest wins that they ended up getting. I mean, that was something else, especially with how that happened.
Yeah, no one saw that coming.
Nope.
I sure the heck didn't.
And that's what made it all better.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and that will forever be his great. Even though it may be his first win, it's still his best win.
That was his only Cup win.
Come on. Oh, I need to turn my Wi-Fi back on.
That might help if you have Wi-Fi on.
And I realized something. Let's see.
Now it went out.
My friend just texted me. He's like, dude, what time is Monday Night Raw on? Dude, it was on at 3.
Yeah, I've been watching clips and that of it all day.
We'll talk about it after this. All right. So up next weekend we have get the fuck off of here. I agree, bitch. Okay, so next we have Homestead Miami. next weekend. All right, so Wood Brothers Racing deserved that win, big time. And what I like about Wood Brothers Racing is they have the old school pit uniforms styles.
Oh yeah, that's what makes it awesome. Is that everything they've got is old school look.
Yeah, it's okay. Why is everything running slower than fucking molasses today? Fucking Christ!
Well, we covered
But I'm telling you,
we covered IMSA, we covered NASCAR, we've covered supercars.
supercars.
That leaves your series now that you want to cover.
Yeah. Well, in a minute though, Josh Berry. So for those of you who's been following us on social media each and every single week on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, you might notice that we do a little thing called the Driver of the Race Award. That happens after each NASCAR race, trucks, Xfinity, and Cup. Josh Berry becomes the first driver to be a three-time Forward Media Driver of the Race award recipient for the Cup Series side. He's also the first driver to win the award back-to-back. Do we plan on seeing Josh Berry with more Driver of the Year awards?
Oh yeah,
Absolutely.
100%.
Absolutely. And by the and after and following the conclusion of the Phoenix Championship race, not only will we have our three drivers of the race there, but we will have for each series a driver of the year. It could be the champion driver. It could be a driver that didn't even win a race in 2025. What are your thoughts on that idea when at the end of the season crowning a Forward Media driver of the year?
It's a great idea, man. I mean, it allows us. We have to go and showcase the best driver of the season. I mean, and sometimes, honestly, it's not always the champion that is the best driver of the season. While statistically, more likely with them winning the title, they are the best driver. I mean, you could have a driver that had a rough start for the season and have a complete turnaround by the end of the season, and that could get them the driver of the race also, or the driver of the season also.
Absolutely. So, and then at the very end of the year, after Formula One wraps up their 2025 season, we will have what is called the Forward Media Championship Special, where we crown the champions in all racing series that we've covered. And we will also do something that's very unique amongst all across all racing platforms. Let me rephrase that. Forward Media Champion of the Year. It could be from any series, any form of racing in December. Now that, my friends, that is what you call putting on one fun ass show.
Oh yeah. And I know I'm jumping the gun here, considering this will be on the show Friday, but they just dropped the Craftsman Trek Series entry list for Friday. And driving the 07 HendrickCars.com Chevrolet is Kyle Larson.
What's with the truck race on Saturday? What time is the truck race this weekend? Is it on Friday or Saturday?
Let me look. I think it's Friday night. I want to think. And that's all they've released. Yeah, Friday at 8. So our Friday show will be right before the actual race. "34 trucks are entered."
What time the race start?
8.
8 o'clock. We'll go at
Yes, sir.
7:15. So for those of you listening, we're going to due to the truck race starting at 8 o'clock, we will bump the show up about 15 minutes to 7:15 on YouTube on Friday. So please stay tuned for that. Don't forget the debut of, or it's still going to be Four Wide Media. It's just going to be kind of like Speed Channel did back in the day with Speed News. You had Speed News and you had Speed News NASCAR edition. We're going to have Four Wide Media Dirt edition, where we cover all things on dirt. All right.
Did you see this? Did you see this other stat about Josh Berry?
No, what's up?
Josh Berry is now the first NASCAR Weekly Series champion to ever win a NASCAR Cup Series race. Prior to Josh Berry's arrival in Cup,
awesome. He has
best
a bright
finish
future
by
ahead of
any
him.
former. Oh yeah, prior to his arrival in Cup, the best finish by any former Weekly Series champion in a Cup race had belonged to Mike Alexander, who ran third at Atlanta in 1988.
Nice. All right, let's take a look at point standings. Your point standings for the Craftsman Truck Series. You got Ty Majeski, Corey Heim, Grant Enfinger, Chandler Smith, Stuart Friesen, Ben Rhodes, Tyler Akram, Gio Ruggiero, Daniel Hemrick, and Tanner Gray on the outside. If that was to be the championship, if that was the playoffs, I'm trying to pull up the playoff scenario, but it's not letting me do it yet. But that's your top 10 point standings. Despite not having any wins yet, Ty Majeski is your points leader. As
Consistency.
while as Corey Heim has 2 wins, 2 top parts.
That's all consistency for you right
Corey
there.
Heim does not have a stage win. So your owners championships, Thor Sport, Tricon Garage, and CR7 Motorsports are your top 3. And for your main, Toyota leads the way with 2. For your driver standing for the Xfinity Series, you're reigning and defending undisputed NASCAR Xfinity Series champion Justin Allgaier is your points leader with 5 starts, 1 win, 3 top 5s, and 2 stage wins. Jesse Love is in second, Sam Mayer 4th, Austin Hill 4th. Whoa, I fucked that up. Sam Mayer is 3rd, Austin Hill is 4th. And the number 8, Sammy Smith is in 5th, Eric Almirola 19th. Eric Roma's in 6th. I'm not going to count Eric Almirola because he is so we're not going to count him. Sheldon Creed, Taylor Gray, Connor Zealot.
But the fact that Almirola's only run 3 races and is 6th in points is something to talk about, really.
That's true. Will he be eligible for the playoffs? No, because he is a part-time driver. So technically he is 6th in points because he is still technically racing. Sheldon Creed is 7th. Taylor Gray is 8th. Connor Zealot 9th. Ryan Sieg 10th. Not a bad start for Ryan Sieg. This 5 starts and 1 top 5. Christian Eckes 11th and Jeb Burton in 13th. So not a bad start to the Xfinity Series. Your owner's points, Junior Motorsports, Joe Gibbs Racing in 2nd, and Richard Childress. And of course, your manufacturer, Chevrolet, runs it has on the season over Toyota's won. Still a long ways to go, but the drivers that you see in the top 4, will those be your championship 4 drivers by the end of the season?
I think Allgaier will be up there. That's a given. I mean,
oh yeah. You like how I introduced him as the reigning, defending, undisputed.
I need to make a phone call to Paul Heyman to do that entrance right for us. But I don't know how the Justin Allgaier would work out in Paul Heyman's voice.
Right.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Everett Lawrence.
I fucking love Paul Heyman.
Oh, Heyman's the OG god in wrestling, man. Come on.
Like, for real. Like, Paul Heyman is fucking Paul. Can we give a shout out to Chelsea Green for her appearance over the weekend for the Pennzoil 400 on Sunday, for driving from going from Barcelona, Spain, back to the United States.
And then back overseas again to continue her WWE obligations.
Yep. Willie B, William Byron, and the iconic number 24 is your overall points leader with 204 or 207. 5 starts, 1 win, and 3 fives and 1. Pole and 1 stage win, 3 straight races. Can we just say all 4 Hendrick cars, top 5 of the points, is very impressive to start the season? Only driver to win a race so far yet this season for Hendrick Motorsports.
It's quite interesting, these points right now. I mean, you've got
Ryan Blaney in 7th, Joey Logano 8th, Chris Buescher 9th, Ross Chastain 10th, Bubba Wallace 11th, Denny Hamlin 12th, Josh Berry 13th, Michael McDowell 14th, John Hunter Nemechek 15th, and Ricky Stenhouse Jr. 16th, with Kyle Busch in 17th on the outside looking in.
Which only by 2 points, but right now, shout out to McDowell and John Hunter. I mean, they're not necessarily in the best equipment, but they have definitely shown some great signs on what some perseverance also. I mean, Michael McDowell
and not to mention
had issues.
And not to mention Michael McDowell's with the new team this year.
Right. McDowell had a lot of issues the last 2 weeks or the last 3 weeks, I think. Where was that? Was that Atlanta where he got 7 lucky dogs to get back on the lead lap? I mean, and then came back to finish top 15.
Yeah.
This week, I think he had a speeding penalty or something, or some kind of issue. And even though he started on pole, he was at the back of the pack, a couple laps down, got his laps back, finished 16th. John Hunter's just is running consistent, staying out of trouble. I mean, kudos to them for persevering. I mean, they went through a lot. And then on the flip side, you've got Roush Fenway, which is starting to look pretty. Roush Fenway Keselowski, that's looking pretty good, except for Brad. Brad can't seem to find that lucky horseshoe or anything to right the ship over there on that 6 car. But I mean, great runs going on for Ryan Preece, going on for Chris Buescher, knowing that Front Row Motorsports also is a Keselowski affiliate. I mean, they're running great. I mean, it's great to see that the Ford camp has actually revitalized their program, I guess you could say.
Yeah. And this is a sad fact. The fact that 7-time Cup Series champion Jimmy Johnson is ahead of Cody Ware, who's raced 5 races and is 183 points behind the leader, while Jimmy Johnson, who only ran a Daytona 500, is ahead of him in 36th place. Is it safe to say that Cody Ware is horrible and is going to be last for the rest of the season?
Yeah. I can't sugarcoat that one. Yeah, I mean,
So I'm gonna
I
have.
get that
So
it's.
I'm gonna steal. So
I get a
I'm
trick,
gonna
son.
steal
I
something.
get a trick, son. But
and then he just
Rick could
and
have
did not
done.
he and on top of that, we were better off seeing Corey LaJoy in that 51 full time than Cody Ware.
At this point, I think we'd be better seeing Catherine Legg in that 51 than Cody Ware. I mean, don't get me wrong. Cody's a nice guy. I've talked with him. I've done some interaction with him on Twitter and that in the past too. And
I mean,
he's a great guy in that regard.
Despite
yeah,
I mean, despite his legal issues that if
you go back and
look, he's a race car driver.
If you go back and look, though, all that was dismissed also. So I mean, I don't hold that on him necessarily.
Correct. And therefore he is a race car driver and he's going to race. All right, so here's you're getting way off our fucking top. Your owners championship, the 24 team is in first, the 20 team is second, 2311 with Tyler Reddick is in third. Your manufacturing with 3 wins on the season, Toyota over Chevy's 1 and Ford's 1. Great start to the NASCAR season. I'm looking forward to the rest of the season. It's going to be a phenomenal season. These last 5 races in, 5 great races, 5 races in for Xfinity, 5 great races, and 3 truck races in. And great racing, I must say.
Oh, yeah, it's been some great racing. Oof.
I mean, is it just me, or has NASCAR finally got these aero packages down pat?
It's still a work in progress. I mean, the 1.5 miles have been all right with this package. This is the same package that they ran at the All-Star race a couple years ago, with the restrictors and the holes in the hood and stuff like that, just with the Gen 6 car. So, I mean, it's a very similar package to that. I mean, and it ran competitive on 1.5 miles. There's still a lot of work on the short tracks. I mean, yeah, the option tire gave them some help, but that's only a temporary fix when it comes down to it. There's still a lot they need to do on the short track side. I think there's still going to be a lot to do on the road course side, which we'll see come Sonoma. It's unfortunately come to Sonoma, it'll show its ugly face on the issues with this car still, unless they figure something else out. I mean, that, and then Bristol Martinsville, that'll be a telltale sign of the short track side. But I mean, super speedways, intermediates, this car is great. Just they need to fix that. They need to fix the tracks that most fans love, which are the short tracks, the road courses, and options like that.
All right. So, damn. I need full coverage of this. We close out the show down under Australia. We had the start the 75th season. The 2025 Australian Grand Prix happened overnight on Sunday evening, and for the first time, Max Verstappen is not your season opening winner. Let's talk about it.
63 races, he hasn't led the points.
Let's talk about it. All right. It's Formula One. Everett, what are we going to talk about?
That there was barely any passing. Oh, that is a typical F1 race. Well, I can't say it's a typical F1 race. Looking at the results here, I mean, Lando Norris beat Max Verstappen only by just under 9/10 of a second. So I mean, it was an under a second gap. With George Russell in third, 8.5 seconds back. So I mean, that tells me that they're starting to they've got something right in that regard to where the races are a little bit closer. I mean, going back to the last car running, Oliver Behrman with the Haas Ferrari, he was only 40 seconds behind. So I mean, in one lap, I want to say, let's see, one lap around there is 1:15. So he was only a half a lap behind, unlike normal instances where they're already a lap behind for half the field.
All right, that's true. All right, let's get things rocking and rolling. All right, so Everett stole my thunder and did the podiums of 1, 2, and 3. In fourth place, driving for Mercedes. Weird. Andrea, Kimi, and Antonelli. In fifth, you had Alexander Albon with Williams Mercedes. Lance Stroll finished sixth in the Aston Martin Armco Mercedes. Nico Hülkenberg finished seventh in the Kick-Saber Ferrari. Charles Leclerc eighth in his Ferrari. Oscar Piastri, the Australian,
Piastri,
finished. Piastri. Oh, I gotta get that right. In ninth, McLaren Mercedes. He has an incident over the weekend where he spun out in front of the Australian crowd, and the drunk Australian crowd was cheering him on for the hometown boy, making his Ferrari debut in the number 44 Ferrari. Lewis Hamilton finished 10th. Pierre Gasly was 11th in the Alpine Renault. For Red Bulls, for Racing Bulls Honda RBPT, that is a new team this year. And 12th was Yuki Tsunoda. All right. Whatever. Tsunoda. 13th in the Haas Ferrari. I did not know Team Haas was with Ferrari. Wow. Esteban Ocon 13th and 14th, finishing the Haas Ferrari of Oliver Behrman, who's making his F1 debut. And the following cars did not finish the race. Last place for the my heart breaks for this guy. In the Racing Bulls Honda RBPT, Isaac Hadjar, on the formation lap, he crashes out on the formation lap, therefore not even being able to even start his first F1 race. Jack Donhoon in the Alpine Renault did not get to start. Carlos Sainz and a whole nother team, Carlos Sainz with the Williams Mercedes, did not start. He finished... he didn't even start. He did not even start. He didn't have it complete any laps. Up above him was Fernando Alonso in his Aston Martin Armco Mercedes. He only raced at 32 laps, where he did not finish. Gabriel Bortoleto in his Kick-Saber Ferrari completed 45 laps for his retirement. And Liam Lawson in his Red Bull Racing Honda RBPT was only 46 laps in before he retired. What a weekend. And not to mention the trailer for the new F1 movie starring Brad Pitt was also released. I do believe we had Formula 2 race in Australia, but I believe I do believe that it I don't think anything happened because of the rain, but I'm not worried about that right now. Actually, no, here it is. I can click on it right here. I'm stupid. All right. You haven't lost me yet, have you?
No, you're still
Shit.
here. The Formula
Okay.
2 race in Melbourne, the feature was canceled due to inclement weather.
Yeah, it was canceled. I was just about to say it. Yeah, it was canceled due to weather. So their next race, so technically their next race and their opening race will be okay. So they had one sprint race, and Durkins was dominant form as he takes victory in Melbourne. Montoya targeting more improvements for Sunday after a P6 finish in Melbourne sprint. I believe that is I think that's Montoya's son, but we'll talk about that later.
Son. Yep.
All right. That okay. Well, hide your jet dryers.
Man, that was a one-time only thing that happened.
Shit was funny though. Confusing, but funny at the same time. All right. So let's see here. So we got Isaac. Hadjar. All right. So as I had mentioned,
we also had
Ricky
Formula 3.
Isaac Hadjar crashed. Ricky Isaac Hadjar crashes on formation lap and delays start of F1 Grand Prix. And he literally cried his eyes out. And some people over here saying that his crying was embarrassing. I mean, I'm sorry, but it's your first race and you had a terrible accident in your first race. You are going to, hand your emotions out.
Oh yeah, I mean, race car
Anthony
drivers,
Hamilton.
we wear our emotions on our sleeves. I mean, there's nothing we can say or do. No matter what happens, we get mad, it shows. We get sad, it shows. It's just the nature of the beast. We're human, also. It happens.
Yeah, but Lewis Hamilton's father, Anthony Hamilton, has revealed why he rushed to greet Isaac Hadjar in the paddock following the Racing Bulls Ricky's formation lap shunt at the Australian Grand Prix, and this was his response. Shit. The thing is, as soon as I saw what happened to Isaac, my heart fell, and I just felt for him. It was just so sad to see because I know how hard it is when these kids are 8 years of age and they dream of becoming a Formula One driver. Basically, he felt for him like a father, is what Anthony Hamilton said after that heart race. I mean, heartbreak. I mean, nobody wants to. That's not how anybody wants to start their first race of their career.
Oh no, and it was great that he went over and consoled him for it. I mean, that was a tough deal in general, and it's going to happen. But all he can do is go and learn from what happened, and move on from there. I think he'll be all right.
Yep.
So I mean, he'll be good.
Yeah. All right. So their next race will be this coming weekend. Damn, we got a busy show next week, my friend. We got IndyCar, we got Formula One, we got NASCAR, all three series. We got IndyCar, we got Formula One. Man, we got a packed. We're gonna have a packed racing next Monday. But we have the first sprint of the Formula One season that will be taking place on Saturday. No, I'm wrong. First. Oh, shit. Damn. All right, so we got the sprint race this weekend, 23rd. Oh, I get it now. Difference. All right, let me stop. But you got the sprint race and the race for the Chinese Grand Prix this weekend at the Shanghai International Circuit. That is by far one of my one circuits aside Silverstone. It's such a beautiful so here's something interesting. So this weekend at Homestead, Miami, we're going to get confused as to who is driving what truck because
You seen that post from
71,
Spire?
07, and the 7 are going to be fucking HendrickMotorsports.com. What the fuck?
As Spire says in their post, and I shared it to our Facebook page. Sorry in advance
Sorry
to
in
our
advance
spotters.
to our spotters. What the? Wow.
Oh,
Who? Okay.
yeah.
Who's
Their spotters are going to
who's
get paid big time.
Okay, so whose bright idea at Spire came up with that idea?
Probably Rick Hendrick, who's funding the whole thing.
You might as well slap the Hendrick colors on the 77 too.
Hey, don't give them ideas. They might throw it on Perez's truck down there too, you know.
True that. All right. So this has been a great show. Again, we will be back Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. for the dirt racing edition of 4 Wide Media. Until then, good night, everybody.
Peace out, fam.